So we are going to continue that dynasty, right? So here's my biggest thing with the dynasty. A lot of that was played with straight up just nobody supporting one faction at all. Like, we had somebody who played for them. The Counts, if I recall correctly, we had somebody playing for the Counts. That dynasty. What was the big thing I remember about that dynasty? What was the big thing? Oh yeah. Now I remember what it was. You know, I played that video, and I did not realize until after everything was said and done that all I was doing was showing YouTube on videos that had nothing to do with anything. So, I'm going to fix that real quick. On that, not that. I think this is going... Do I have to do screen capture? I think I have to do screen capture. Let's not do screen capture. Now let's do... Screen capture. Is that on here? Okay. It is on here now. Now, while all that noise was playing, pretty much any time I played the fish stuff, the first time was supposed to be playing this.
You know what that means? Fish.
You get the general idea. Let's go ahead and start the main feature.
And now, our feature presentation.
I finally remember the game because Chief's got an Archbishop. There are a couple of things I remember from the last one. The big thing I remember is everybody encouraging me to fuck a fish. I might have to censor that for the video, when I do that eventually. But that's the big thing I remember. What else did I write for that video? I got editing for the last one done as quickly as possible, and I got that uploaded yesterday, I think? Anyways, the description for it was, today Technature desperately tries to run a kingdom, while everyone demands to have his head on a pike, weaken the church as much as possible, or attempt to have relations with a fish. So from this, I'm taking, like, the biggest things I remember is fuck the church and the fish thing. So yeah, like I was saying before, the big thing I'm thinking of is that partially the Counts basically did not have anybody playing for, like, half the game. I don't know how big of an eel would create that big of an issue. I don't know how big of a deal that would be specifically. Tell you what, we've got at least 3 people here. We'll put it to a vote, just like everything else. Do you think we should keep going, or should we start a new one? Because, like, one of the bigger things I'm thinking, like, only people that have the game can switch to other factions in the next game, right? In a new game? Tell you what, let's go ahead and load this particular dynasty, and we'll see what happens once everybody gets in. And if somehow with the people that we have, if the game doesn't let us start, we're not gonna start the fucking game. That's what we're gonna go with. I've got I've got my brain going. It's working. It's doing things. It's just doing things poorly. Also, I'm only just noticing now, what was that Reddit post? From earlier today? I saw that Reddit post that showed for a second. Okay. Right. Definitely not the worst thing. But I had that at the beginning. It's nothing particularly gross. Somebody just makes a mistake. I can read it out again real quick. It would be the third time, because the first time I had the microphone muted, because I'm a fucking dumbass. So like I mentioned earlier in the VOD, sometimes I browse around on Reddit, which is not a proud thing to admit. Don't become Dr. Disrespect. Oh, that worries me. I'm going to assure you, nothing sexual happens in this. Somebody makes a mistake and then is yelled at because they are very tired. It's not that bad. So, I came across this one while looking up the Today I Fucked Up thing. As you saw the title, Children and Cats Do Not Mix. The past week, I've been having trouble sleeping, so I'm extremely tired. Today, I'm watching my siblings, and I go to grab their sandwiches out of the refrigerator at the same time I feed the cats. Just gonna read it exactly as it's typed. I come out and place the food on the table, and my sister yells, "I'm not eating cat food!" I take another look at the food I put in front of my siblings, and sure enough, it's cat food. The cats had their sandwiches. Now, my sister is mad at me and yelling that I fed her cat food on purpose and I'm gonna be in trouble for it. She's 7. My brother is saying that I will never be forgiven. He's 5 1/5. My mom has them now, and I'm now waiting to have the "why did you feed your brother and sister cat food" conversation with my mother. Too long didn't read. I fed my cats sandwiches and my sister and brother cat food because I am extremely tired. Now, the one thing I've noticed, like the big common thing here, oh, what's a sandwich? Is that like some person in the desert who does like magic and stuff? Why are you feeding that to children? In first off, well, yes, a sandwich is food, but a sandwich? It also does not have a consistent spelling. You got SANDWITCHES, and sometimes it does not have the D in it. Now, if you know me, like, you know, I like poking fun at people who put typos in the chat. It's like a minor pet peeve of mine, but I like joking about it. This gave me a fucking ulcer while I was reading it. This made me sad. Anywho, we should start. I'm genuinely amazed at the panicking. It's just somebody who accidentally swapped sandwiches with cat food. Also, I'm going to say right now, I will forget any pronouns. I have a habit of referring to anybody as he. If that's an issue, sorry in advance. I know some people are especially crazy about that. Now, let's start as everything should start. Achievement. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from King Technature, but you must still answer to the council. Just do what I do and say. I barely remember my own gender. That is an amazing way to go through life. Like, fuck, am I a boy or a girl today? Is it neither? Oh man. I don't know. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. I should have this option. We didn't do this last time. Also, we gaslit ourselves. The wine... The wine fountains never happened. We just gaslit ourselves into thinking that happened. Let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? Hadrian, what faction are you? Oh, the chiefs. Howdy, howdy, Hadrian. Nice to have you here. So, today we have holding a lavish ceremony in the south, which is going to piss people off. We'll continue the tradition of making me poor. I guess someone else is poor this time. And increasing faith. We can force commoners to swear a blood oath, which will increase authority but decrease stability. We can have troops bear the king through the streets atop a shield, which will raise military and lower authority. Or we can have the ever-fantastic classic throw the king into the river. It's 2v1v1, 2 with the king. I am at a numerical disadvantage. Yeah, I think they had something where they would do something to help keep numerical issues to a minimum, especially for that low. A true classic. It is decided the king will be thrown in the river. What? What kind of coronation is that? Only in party mode? Ah. Got it. A very traditional ceremony dating back to Queen Alma the Wise. It's meant to represent you being reborn as a true king. The mobile nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. When you climb back up the bank soaking wet, the Chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination, or are some of the nobles stifling giggles? Definitely my imagination. Because as we know, no one would ever want to go against me, because I'm too nice. The night has smiled upon us, and our plans have come to fruition. Verily, there is much to celebrate. Now remember your duty. You must ensure that the grandee's interests are enforced throughout the kingdom. What if I govern for the good of the whole kingdom? You gave me your word that you would serve our interests. To break that promise would be most dishonorable. Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I've told you today. I'm not stifling, I'm pointing and laughing. Also, pardon for spelling, I've got dyslexia. I will try to keep in mind, any pokes at fun at spelling that I make is just that, just for the sake of joking. I'm not going to start calling people stupid because they misspell a word once in a while. That would be hypocritical of me. We accept you, but the grandees who are pricks don't. They spent their money on lavish things, and you for war. Unlike us for science, and you for war. Don't worry, I make fun all the time. I barely speak my own fucking language. Yeah, as you can tell, sometimes I just have trouble speaking for no reason. So next we'll introduce ourselves to the counts. It's like an honor to finally make your acquaintance, your majesty. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. And good luck in the days ahead, your highness. You'll need it, dealing with us lot. And with that, the introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, what do you think? Will he be a good little king and do as he's told? Too early to tell, but I have a bad feeling. We should have a backup plan, just in case. I barely speak my own fucking language, which is English. Which one? Me. American, Australian, South African? Me. Scottish English? Welsh English? Irish English? English English? Me! Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers. Unless, of course, they prove themselves worthy of the throne they have stolen. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Ah, so American English. Pigeon English. Only an American would be so self-centered. Personally, I'm not so self-centered that I can't say that I'm in United States and not all of fucking America. So how are the stats doing? Farming again? I would have tried to be different. Let's I feel like I have a good chance for stability, actually. Or I could go full challenge mode and go faith. Let's raise the faith here as much as possible. You don't even know which cardinal direction your neighbor and nations are. No, that's not true. I'm pretty sure that, England's above us, right? An admirable aim. I suggest over the next 3 years you focus on improving the kingdom's stability as much as possible. I mean, they speak English, and yet they're not part of the United States. Therefore, they must be England. England's not even a nation to begin with. Yeah, that's fair. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Vargas of the Darku Drakneel lineage, sinister southern Vintner, stands bathed in sunshine, ranting in a fury. The grandees are blackmailing me. Praise be! Ernesto now sits in the throne, and the grandees are in charge, but the other regions will already be scheming to depose of him. Do we stay loyal to the new king, or do we cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? Vargas is an asshole. Hey, Vampire, can you bug the people blackmailing you that something's happening? Maybe wake them up? Ah. Okay, well, if you had to do something, then... yeah, you had to do something. Let's get rid of that. I like Deku. I feel like I have some good chances. He was sending more blackmail to me. Fair enough. That settles it then. Glory to the king and glory to the ninth god. But we can always change our minds. Should Ernesto ever get out of line, we could take up arms and get rid of him the old-fashioned way. Like the last time you did it, you fucking assholes. The Grandee's goal is to aid the king by countering the other region's schemes as much as possible. They win the game if the king produces an heir and completes his ambition. However, should defiance get too high, they may change their minds and rise up to rebellion. I'm sure that you will be really awesome and do nothing but support me the entire time. Storm of the Favilian clan, notorious northern orator, stands precariously on a longhouse crossbeam, spitting as they speak. Chiefs of the North, we all know I should be on the throne, not this imposter King Ernesto. How do we make that happen? Female spotted? Yeah, it happens sometimes. Well, with that, the Counts have another person. The chiefs plan to dig up Old Held's legendary horn and use it to take over the kingdom. First, they must win the favor of the gods by diminishing the kingdom's belief in the ninth. CIS, gender, female, bisexual... oh, I just clicked that out. Monogamist of Western European descent. Anything else you want to know? Okay, but what is your favorite color? To advance the scheme, the chiefs must lower the combined total of all regions' faith to 12 or less in 4 seasons. I feel like saying fuck the church for, like, the entirety of the last game, may have screwed me a little. Bogdan of the Teeny Burt dynasty, legendary former hermit, leans delicately on a podium, whispering carefully. My fellow counts, in ancient times the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not as long as the false king Ernesto wears the crown. Pigeons are nice when they are not massed in the elevator penthouse, making the entire building stink. Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Average French moment. Intimidation through raising stability. I may not be 100% against this. The counts plan to hold the king hostage in his own palace. First, they must lull the spy master into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, the counts must raise stability to 5 or more in 4 seasons. So, I thought I could trust everybody in the last game, but clearly that was horseshit. I'm sure that the counts, though, will always have my back, and nothing stupid will happen. So, we've got the Monarch's Iron Choice. If chosen, they gain +1 authority. Cool. Not what I need right now. Stop the count. The timer is set to 15 seconds, and the vote automatically closes once the time is over. And reverse voting. Nobles must vote for their least favorite option, and the option with the least with the least vets will post. Yes, yes. I remember using that and laughing as people voted against their interests. It was a very fun time. Why else do you think we chose a scheme that increases stability? Because you're super loyal. Obviously. How's my hometown doing? Look, all I'm saying is every grandee claims to have a saint in their ancestry. Your great-great-grandfather was probably a common dullard. Shut your mouth, you hedge-born puzzle-wit. Gonna hold on to that thought. Gonna keep that one for later. His name was Saint Umber, and he defeated the werewolf of Aranjar by turning it to dust in an instant, according to my grandmother. If you're so sure, how about a little wager? A bag of gold says your ancestor was no saint. You're on. I feel like we're not going in far enough that not another petty dispute would be a weird thing to say right now. Give it like a couple months and then it would make sense. It's like, please don't break out into a duel. It's like, Countess Tainmebert is spreading damnable lies about my great-great-grandfather. If you really think he was a saint, then dig him up. Saints are incorruptible. Even after death, they don't decay. Agreed, Petty. This is no laughing matter. The grandees are off their meds again? Certainly possible. Very well. I request the council's permission to exhume my ancestor and prove this fool wrong. So we have grant permission for the body to be dug up, which is 50-50. No, the dead should stay underground, which will cause people to be upset. I'm assuming the grandees, personally. And ask the Archbishop to just check the records instead. I feel like C is the smarter option. Assuming that good things happen. Assuming good things happen, I feel like C is the smarter option. Petty South Lords caring about bodies and saints. Are you all necrophiliacs giving you lot want to dig out your bones so much? The fish wasn't bad enough? You guys had to get worse? Alright. Grab your shovels, boys! Ninth, bless you, your highness. Now where's my shovel? They are getting worse. So worse. A few days later, the corpse of Deco Drakneel's great-great-grandfather is exhumed from its resting place in the southern necropolis. We are blessed! I was right. Centuries in the ground, yet old Saint Umber looks as fresh as a daisy. We North clans prefer to just bone fish and women like normal people. Hush you. Wow, it really is a miracle. Fine, take your money. Word quickly spreads of the miracle of St. Umber. Peasants across the south add another name to their prayers. Defiance can't go lower. And Faith had a pretty good jump, actually. I suppose it's time to make the honor guard. As is tradition, each region offers a selection of elite guards. The chiefs with their famous warrior heroes, the counts with the Knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, and the grandees often offer the fiercest battle nuns from the Sisterhood of Steel. Think carefully, Your Majesty. Their loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to King... Your Holiness, the Sisters of Steel are chosen by the Ninth God. Surely they would be chosen by you as well. Yeah? You got a quick question? Your Majesty, if I may I tell you a new poem I have been working on together with our knights? It could certainly be interesting. Do you wish an honor guard that wants to stick their bones, or true northern warriors who are normal and definitely not starring at that fish the wrong way? Oh, Vampire has a really long one. Oh no. United forever in money and nobility, our mighty kingdom, but... Oh, good lord. Oh, it got worse. Oh, no. Oh. We're gonna be here a while if I read that. It is pretty funny, and it is in character. They will point the enemies to sleep, my lord. The reference. Oh no. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of stopped attempting to read it once the second third of that came up. I mean, it's certainly no B-movie script, but Together for the Soviet Union. On the one hand, I did chose the nuns with axes. For my king, I wish to say one poem in reference of the North, alright? Fuck the bone fuckers. I don't think that's a poem so much as it is a sentence. I just rewrote the USSR anthem, shake my head. I want to point out, we are helping you keep stability high. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, like, on the one hand, I picked the nuns with axes out of the sole reason that they were nuns with axes. And that might have taken it up the ass a little for that one. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Kind of instantly ended the game for me. On behalf of the counts, screw all y'all. On the other hand, on paper, I do have the grantees' undying loyalty. But we gotta think the long game. We gotta think the long game. Screw your own corpses. Alright, guys, we're gonna have to start passing laws to, that will get you punished if you start telling other people to start screwing things. We will, of course, have to put it on a vote for the council. I feel like we should... Yes, because it decreases defiance. I like what the knights are doing for me. What the counts are doing. Gotta get that stability up nice and high. Just keep going as high as you can. By the ninth, your highness, how could you have chosen them? I will make the arrangements at once. The king bones a corpse. I assure you I do not. The knights arrive a few weeks later. They're all extremely pale, extremely polite. The commander introduces herself with a florid bow before reading out a poem she's written for the occasion. United forever in money and nobility, our mighty kingdom will ever endure. The great kingdom will live through the ages. The dream of nobles, their fortress secure, long live our dynasty event? It's my son. I have questions. Greetings, Chief Favelion. Do you recognize me? Can't say that I do? My name is Technature II, and I am the rightful heir to the throne. Many years ago, my father, King Technature, was overthrown and usurped by the wicked King Ernesto. By the old gods! I have been hiding out in the north ever since, kept safe by those still loyal to my father, and now I come to beg your aid in reclaiming my throne. Give me a moment. I need to discuss this with my peers. You can't seriously be considering this Popinjay's claim. We agreed that you'd help me take the throne. Worry not, that's still our goal. But having the rightful heir in our pocket may still prove useful. We can use him to sow chaos in the kingdom and undermine the king's authority. I wonder how many generations I'll get through this time. Personal record is 3. Let's see. Or we could just have him killed and forget this ever happened. He's probably lying anyway. He's just some peasant fellow with a passing resemblance to the previous king and delusions of grandeur. So, chiefs, I can't really tell you what to do, but you know what would be awesome? Let me see what yeah, let me deal with this real quick. Okay, yeah, I've never had to do this before, so this is taking me a bit. Okay, that should be done with that. I didn't think I would be big enough to get spam. Good news, Technature II. The chiefs will support your cause. You need to only do exactly as we say. Oh, hooray! So what's the first step? Rebellion? March on the capital? King Ernesto's treacherous head on a pike? And nay, not yet. Have patience. We must be very careful. Should the king find out about this, we'll all face the axe. We need some time to think about our next step. I suppose I've waited a decade already. Another few weeks won't kill me. I feel torn. Alright, so we've got this time we've got the deer park, which increases farming, which a bit late to care about that. The monument, which increases authority. Always feels good about that one, honestly. The cathedral, which will increase faith. The library, which will increase stability. The observatory, which will decrease faith. And the Thieves Guild, which will decrease trade. So, the thing I'm seeing is that the important ones are going to be the cathedral, the observatory, and the library. Oh wow, Counts really did get screwed over pretty quick. I didn't even realize that. That's what you get when you start betting on dead people. Anyways, let's get this shit started. What do we got? Got 55 seconds, 55 seconds. Nothing yet, nothing yet. We got 100 on the observatory. 40 seconds remaining. Another 1,000 for the observatory. Come on, putting even 1 to any other thing will basically guarantee that it's built. 20 seconds, 20 seconds. We've got 1,100 going towards the observatory. Nothing else has any funding. 10 seconds. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and last second library funding. Increasing stability even further. The attempt at the Thieves Guild was an interesting choice. Gotta get the wild card in there. Well, it's time to look for a spouse. Your Majesty, it's important to find a spouse sooner rather than later. I don't get my own mother to harass me? I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference? Men? Women? Or do you not mind? I mean, it would be, preferable to, try to have a child, I'd imagine. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. It's an easy enough decision. You'll marry into the grandees, as we agreed before you took the throne, right? 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 More air grievances. I'm tired of waiting around. What are you going to do to help me reclaim my stone throne? Oh, Morgana, give me patience. Fine! We'll figure something out. Alright. Again, I can't really tell you what to do. It's all your choice. Counts? No, not counts. Chiefs. Chiefs, not the counts. That's very, very different. Very different people. We got troops getting ready to charge the capital? Haha, yes! We'll march together at the head of an army and topple that tyrant king! Oh, no. We're not marching together. I need to maintain some plausible deniability. The official story will be that a band of disgruntled northern soldiers deserted and flocked to your cause of their own volition. Military bad! You're gonna be the one responsible for leading this little rebellion, and if the king asks, I'll swear to every god in Celestath I never met you in my life. What? I'm in charge? I've never led a sing-along, let alone an army. You want to be king, don't you? Good luck! Soon enough, Technature II is marching out of the north at the head of an army. It rampages through the Crownlands, lacking any real discipline, pillaging and looting in the name of the true king. The king is caught completely unaware with little time to respond. My stability. As long as this guerrilla war rages unchecked, the king looks weaker than ever. But he won't be on the back foot for long. My authority! I'm truly torn. Do I support this or not? Your Highness, the incorruptible corpse of Saint Umber has become a sensation among the faithful. Everyday pilgrims visit my manor to pray at his feet. Yeah, feet! But their muddy feet are ruining my carpets. May I take Saint Umber's body on a tour of the kingdom instead? After all, the regions outside the south could do with a little reminder of the Ninth's power. Your Majesty, if I may make a suggestion, perhaps we should study this phenomenon instead of mindlessly worshipping it. Heresy! Everyone, cover your ears before she says anything more! Saint Umber is like Vladimir Lenin in St. Petersburg. It would not surprise me if a lot of this stuff was based off of real events. So we can allow the tour to go ahead, which will kill my stability. We can have the saint examined by scholars from Quail University, which is gonna piss off the count. I'm mixing people up again. We could forbid the tour, but allow the private display of Saint Umber to continue, which will increase wealth and trade, or order the saint's body reburied, which will increase defiance and decrease faith. I'm pretty sure the grandees are getting fucked for most of these. I'm just gonna let what happens. Kind of switch the happens words that I had for weird stuff. My brain is stopping for some reason. Come on. Gotta... Come on, work, brain, work! I just realized, why am I apologizing for accidentally slapping the mic when it's regular habit for me to just blow it out? If you insist, Your Majesty, my poor carpets. Maybe I'll come visit your little shrine one of these days. Should be good for a laugh. You're very welcome to visit. At least your shoes are clean. Who knows, maybe St. Umber will guide you back to the light of the ninth. Grandee Deku Drakneo continues to display the saint's body, charging a small fee to compensate for the damage to her carpets. The sacred corpse attracts crowds from across the kingdom. Some even bring coin to spend. I have a feeling that you, things worked out pretty well here. The carpets will be fine. Just enjoy your extra 300. The grandees receive 500 wealth from the ninth god. You suspect tax fraud. The other nobles gain 200. I feel like things are in a good place right now. But it wouldn't hurt to have the chiefs be a little less upset with me. Tax the rich. You know what? Honestly, I feel like that's not a bad idea. We're gonna tax the rich. We're gonna tax the shit out of the rich. And I'd like to, have the counts be as happy with me as possible, because the last time that my bodyguards were part of a faction that hated me, I don't think it ended well. Murder most foul. Who's about to die? Place your bets! Your Majesty, Countess Teenybert has disappeared without a trace. She was last seen on a horse headed to Grandee Deku Drakneo's estate. Ruh-roh. It wasn't me, I swear! Countess Teenybert came to visit St. Umber, but the saint's eyes lit up with holy fire. The next thing I knew, she was reduced to dust and bones. Likely story. I demand the council arrest Grandee Deku Drakneo for the murder of my mother. So, we can make the counts even happier and upset the grandees a bit, and lower stability just as an extra fuck you to me. We can rebury the saint and place something heavy on her grave, or their grave, just to be sure, which will lower faith, and we'll probably do the reverse with Defiance. We can ask the Grandee to prove her fanciful claims, which will lower Defiance, or we can send St. Umber to Quail University for examination, which will increase Defiance. Shush you. No, that's my thing to say. You don't take my thing! You don't take what I say. I am worried about sending the corpse out for studying on possibilities that they may attempt to fuck it. That's been in the back of my mind for a little bit. Okay, yeah, everybody's voting. So that's, good. So, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Let's see where this goes. I want them to be Ace Attorney. Praise be, thank you, Your Holiness, for providing me this chance to prove my innocence. The grandees have fakled. A week later, Grandee Deku Drakneo returns in a wretched state. My research finally paid off. Ninth, protect me. I have seen such terrible scenes. Wealth and faith down? Take a deep breath. I hired experts from across the land to examine St. Umber. Priests, scholars, morticians. None could account for what happened to Countess Teenybert. In the end, I resorted to hiring a warlock from the east. But as soon as he entered the saint's presence, St. Umber's eyes burned once again. The warlock withered and rotted and died in the spot, as though struck by 1,000 years in a single moment. All that remained was dust and bones. A horrible sight, but there you have it. St. Umber will strike down unbelievers and the unworthy. Are you calling my mother unworthy? This tale is absurd. Arrest this fool! I believe the testimony. By Zinya's ashes! Fools! Fools, the lot of you! And the counts are pissed off again. You are left to mull over the implications of this news. You notice that the High Inquisitor is rubbing her hands together and looking particularly gleeful. I will say, seeing the chat fight is a very fun experience. But an insurrection is underfoot. Your Majesty, the Council needs to make a decision. Technature II is marching through the Crown lands with a battalion of rogue northern soldiers claiming to be the true heir. Give me the word and I'll beat this traitor into mush. Your Majesty, we've just received a letter from the so-called rightful heir, styling himself the King in Waiting. He demands your immediate abdication. Can a battle be avoided? Perhaps, Your Majesty. Technature II is open to compromise, but it will require serious concessions that will ultimately undermine your authority. I know I say this all the time, but this is a problem that can be solved with an assassin. It's up to the Council, of course. So we finally bring this to the Council. So we can send the Eastern Army to defend the Crownlands. We can send the Southern Army to defend the Crownlands. Both of them are equally strong. We can hire an assassin, which will bankrupt me. Very hard. Or we can hammer out a desperate compromise. I don't like being bankrupt and my stability being undermined. I like that the grandees are saying, yes, we need to put an end to this rebellion. Send the counts to do it. The king is weak. The nobles must unite to stop this. Which week of the month am I exactly? We can solve this without further violence. I'll arrange a meeting on neutral ground. Your Majesty, this meeting would be the perfect setting for an ambush. Devious, yes. Dishonorable, of course. Effective, undoubtedly. No, we'll negotiate with honor. If Your Majesty wills it. And so the Chancellor rides out to arrange a meeting between you and the thorn in your side. You can only hope this will put the matter to bed, one way or another. Meanwhile, it's time to get married! I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young woman from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. Damn, an honorable king. Why would we ever want to replace him? Damn straight! Why would you ever want to replace... Either way, I think. It's like, and a partner for life to have and to hold, don't forget. Indeed, Your Majesty. 'Cause he's stupid. Banned? And stinks of corpses. Double banned? The Chancellor leads you to the Great Hall where they've arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. Alright then, let's see the eligible bachelorettes. They whisk away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Frida, firstborn daughter of the Northern Hadrian 574 clan. From what I've heard, she knows exactly what she wants and will do whatever's necessary to get it. Well, but consider, chiefs and counts are cringe. You're cringe! Ah, yes. The ever-infallible you defense. Always has her nose in a book from what I've heard. Had a bit of controversy a while back when her clan hall burned down. She was to blame, somehow. Your mother is so fat, Thanos had to snap twice. Your mother is so fat, the coffin had to span the size of the Titanic. Guys, do we have to let ourselves sink so low that we resort to mother jokes? Fat mother jokes specifically? Not interested. Next. This is Matilda, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Vampire Knight CZ dynasty. Stay out of this, big nose. Check, can we execute this person? Apparently they had a hell of a time getting her to smile for this portrait. She lost half the family fortune in the gambling halls, unfortunately. Got in some trouble with the Inquisition a while ago, but nothing came of it. Yo mama's so fat, at Albert Einstein based his theory of atom on her butthole. Your mama's so old, Moses owes her $5. Why did that one make me laugh? Don't see what all the fuss is about, personally. And finally, from the south, Belena, the eldest daughter of the Trev 119950 lineage, famed for her wit, her style, and, as you can see, her good looks. She's been in more duels than I can count, and won them all. And she's got grand plans by all counts. She wants to change the world. Don't like the look of her. Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. I am a sucker for the smart people. And you know what smart people like to do? They like to read books. But it's difficult to say no to the damnation? What? Ambition, that's the word. Kinda don't want to piss off the East either. That's a bit of an issue right now. And of course, the East is the worst. We don't care, I bet. Tell me, are the Chiefs going to stop the counts if they decide they want to rebel? I heard some rumors that a lot of their troops just randomly decided they didn't want to fight for them anymore. For seemingly no reason, too. Fuck it. I'll make the arrangements. We sent them to get milk. Well, now we know why they haven't come back. So we got stop the count, swing votes, and the golden choice. Gotta love the golden choice. The ability to bribe people is very useful indeed. I feel like I shouldn't do the royal wedding yet, because that's going to lower the defiance of everybody. A miracle has been placed in our laps, and we would be fools to ignore it. What are you talking about? Saint Umber, of course, the saint who strikes down any unbelievers in his presence. We should place Saint Umber in the council hall so that faithless nobles face judgment. Oh dear. That could be an issue. Faith is so awful it can't succeed. Fuck the church! So, choose A for failure. B, we rebury the saint and place something heavy on the grave just to be sure. Yeet the corpse. Let's place the corpse into a different country. Fling the saint's corpse into the sea via trebuchet, which would be funny. It would fuck my authority more, but it would be funny. All of the... We're going to ignore authority because that's going to go down no matter what we do. So our choices is lower authority and faith, or lower authority and faith and raise defiance, or instant failure. I don't like any of these options. Yeah, I feel like Hadrian's vote doesn't count sometimes for some reason. I think he does it too soon. That is possible, yeah. What?! I think it's because I'm using Chatterino. Yeah, there are a couple of reasons it could be. What?! What?! The Grandees and the High Inquisitor are united in outrage at this clearly disrespectful treatment of a saint. Better safe than sorry, though. Corpse is clearly dangerous. How many fish do you think this is going to kill? The next week, on a misty morning, your council gathers at the docks, the Archbishop says a few words, and the trebuchet's rope is cut. Yeet that sucker out of here! Saint Umber goes flying over the horizon, flapping around like a rag doll, quickly vanishing to a speck in the distance. You know what I like to think is happening when they hit the water? Whatever that is. You don't hear the splash. It's too far. But you can imagine the dead saint sinking to the sea floor, eyes glowing with holy rage. For weeks, inquisitors probe your affairs and priests condemn your name in churches across the land. We didn't hear it. This could be an issue. Authority is looking very dangerously low. Not a fan. Your wedding to Frida is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Frida at your side. St. Umber should team up with the Orcas. Yeah, things are too fucked for me not to right now. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new wife only dances with obvious reluctance. By the time you find yourself alone, it's past midnight, and you've never felt more tired. Neither of us asked for this union, but I assure you it can blossom into something of mutual benefit. Maybe we will fall in love once we get to know each other. Statistically unlikely, but there's always a chance. You head to your separate bread chambers. That's a poor misspeak there. Perhaps you will draw closer in time, but for now your wife is happy to keep you at arm's length. So here we have the heir. It's time for your meeting with Technature II, the so-called rightful heir to your throne. You ride out from the palace at dawn with your chancellor and honor guard. You're meeting on neutral ground, St. Bertrand's Cathedral. According to legend, anyone who sheds blood within its hallowed walls will be cursed for 9 generations. Technature II is waiting, surrounded by some hand-picked soldiers from his northern army. We meet at last, usurper. You know why I'm here. That crown belongs to me. It's like, well, an interesting argument, but I'm the one wearing it on my head. I am the rightful heir! You stole my birthright! There must be something else you want. Money? Power? We could give you a seat on the council, even, but the crown itself is off limits. No, I have royal blood, and by law, the throne is mine. Hand it over, damn you! Offer gold and embarrassing concessions. Perhaps if the king were to apologize, give me a giant bag of money, 1,000 gold, full pardon for me and my supporters, and I get to be on the coins from now on. My face, not yours. Oh. We have to do something about authority. And we have to do it fucking immediately. An hour later, you're back in the palace. A servant drags over a massive sack of coins. In return, Technature II signs an official document recognizing you as the rightful king. Throw him in the river. Yes. I had to deal with it, so should he! And just like that, it's over. The rogue army disbands. Unfortunately, the new face on your currency causes a steep drop in your prestige. Oh no! That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Hey, so guys, how about we get it to 0? No. No, I forbid it! You are not allowed! The common folk whisper Technature II is the true king, so it's only fitting for his face to be on the coins. The last you hear, Technature II bought a beautiful mansion somewhere in the north, and is occupying his time with parties and hedonism, far away from politics, intrigue, and war. You're not jealous, though. Right? You see, it's funny when I destroy ears on purpose. Northern sagas tell of Odhel's horn, once gifted to mortals by the honey-blooded prince himself, then lost to the snows of time, never to be found again. Until now. By all the gods, can you believe it? This has been the most bountiful spring in living memory. The grass is green, the sun is warm, even our sheep have given birth in record numbers. Farming is up. Bit fucking late for that! It's the work of Odheld, my friend. We've spent many months beseeching him, and now he has rewarded us with the means to overthrow the king's regime. Truly? You mean to say he has pointed us to his horn? Aye, but it's far to the north, in the ice giant's territory. The frozen wastes will need a hardy force of heroes to stand any chance of retrieving it. For the next stage of the chief's scheme, they must raise their military to 5 or more in 2 seasons. Suddenly, supporting the rightful heir does not seem like such a good idea anymore. I believe in you. You can do it. Far in the east, Countess Teenybert II is hosting a dinner party in her castle with a few distinguished guests. Yeah, you see, you're not supposed to have such low military as chiefs. Yeah, it's kind of weird that you do. Our plans are going better than expected. The spy master thinks all is well in the kingdom, and while the cat's away, the mice shall play. And when the cat returns, it will find the mice have poisoned its kibble. The analogy's a little tortured now, but I like the enthusiasm. Our next step is to replace the palace watch with our own agents. Well, we already control the honor guard. If we buy the loyalty of the watch, we'll have complete control of the palace. Did I fuck myself with the honor guards again? For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. Well, you just have a freebie there, don't you? One has to work really hard. The other doesn't have to work at all. And of course, we have to remember that I am counting on the grandees to not let me get fucked over by these other 2 people who I definitely don't know they're doing anything. Definitely don't know. Here we go again! The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan, sell off the crown jewels, crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Authority down, stability. Honestly, I'm going for the tombs. I can't afford authority to be going down at all. And the mint. Oh, good lord, the mint. That buried gold isn't doing anyone good, is it? Time to desecrate some graves! You order the royal mausoleums dug into and looted. The result is quite the bounty. Gold masks, heaps of coins, precious jewels. Not everyone is as practical as your treasurer, though. The church denounces you as a grave robber, and the nobles and peasants alike are disgusted by your greed. I gotta pay people. I have to pay my people here. What do you guys want from me? Oh god, even the king has joined the necrophilia cult. Hush now! A menacing omen? Oh no. Your Grace, here in the east we have a hair problem. You can't even deal with rabbits on your own? Allow me to explain, Your Highness. This is a dire omen indeed. A new meaning to skeletons in the closet. The town of Camden holds a spring festival welcoming the warmth back to our distant lands. But this year we were forced to miss it. The fabled heir known as the Pale Beast of Camden appears and officially begins the festival, but not this year. The peasants are growing restless. It's white as snow, the size of a large dog, bears majestic coiled antlers. And it's delicious with parsnips! The gathered nobles gasp, then fall silent. How do you know that? How do you know that it's delicious with parsnips? Why is that? Blood and stars! You ate the pale beast of Camden! Well, I hopped onto my lands. I thought it was just a rare sort of rabbit. This monster has eaten the fabled pale beast of Camden, casting a shadow upon the coming year, the coming decade, in fact! It's not just a hare. The pale beast possessed powers beyond your understanding. Your Majesty, bring down the weight of justice on this wretch! Why more counts? Well, stability is, gonna be wacky. Hold on a second. Having to keep track of that live is annoying, but yeah. So, our choices are to, well, the defiance is probably going to be reversed in one way or another. I presume the chiefs will be upset with A, and the counts will be upset with B. C. I meant C. C will take away money from the treasury, while A will take away money from the chiefs, presumably. Either way, stability will die. Counts are fine with B. It's like, alternatively, yeah, B, we can discreetly call for merchants to find a fake pale beast of Camden and pretend the whole thing never happened. No, guys, he didn't. He didn't eat it. He didn't eat it all. But yeah, I have a feeling that if I try to block A or C, then some people might vote for the other one. Well, it doesn't matter now. The majorities voted for B. Maroon07, thank you for the raid. This is about to get really wacky. I will say, I didn't think that I would be big enough to get a raid. Man, we're going really wacky. First we get a, what is it now? A spam bot, and now we have a raid? God, we're reaching so many milestones today. After a few false starts involving rabbits dusted with chalk, a snow-white hair is found. It's not quite as big as a dog, but maybe from a distance. Next to a small shrub for perspective. You have antlers fixed to the hare's head set the poor thing loose close to Candin. All you can do is wait. A day or two later, excitement erupts as the new white hare of Candin is sighted. The festival goes ahead with much celebration. It may be summer rather than spring, but everyone agrees winter is thoroughly over. Meanwhile, the chiefs who caused the problem in the first place are keen to praise your name whenever they can. That's a good plus. Losing relevance. What is now? This morning you'll be cutting the ribbon on the new library, then giving a speech at the gardening festival. I prepared some inoffensive jokes about flowers for you. We're gonna make zero authority. No, we're not. We are not going to do that. Sorry I can't stay long. I'm actually under threat of tornado. Good. Yeah, that's understandable. If you gotta take off for, any reason, including tornado threats, then by all means, don't risk your life for my sorry ass. Isn't there a council meeting today? What's the king's ambition? I am trying to raise stability as much as possible. Why, yes, your majesty, but the nobles told me you weren't attending council meetings anymore. They said you were happy to let them decide the matters of the state. Urge to murder rising? I'll have their head on pikes! Oh dear. Let's head to the council hall. We might catch them before the session begins. Oh, your majesty! Forgive me for not bowing. We didn't expect to see you here today. What is the meaning of this? Well, don't take offense, your highness. We thought you'd be, relieved to have the reins of power taken from you. My own people. My own fucking people. Unbelievable. Maybe you're right. And what gave you that impression? Well, by all that is holy, your majesty, anyone can see that you're not fit to rule. Wow. This is why you need to trust the counts and the chiefs. To be fair, how many times have I picked something from the chiefs or the counts and not the grandees? What was it? I have the counts' bodyguards. I have the chiefs' wait, did I marry into the chiefs? I don't want to gaslight myself again. Yes? Okay. By all that is holy, your majesty, anybody can see what it... Right. Let us take care of things from now on. It wouldn't be so bad. What the heck happened to the North's military? Oh, the original king's son wanted to lead an army, and they said yes for some reason. Have Grandee Strat Daddy Day Camp thrown in the dungeon. 10,000 years dungeon! As Grandee Strat Daddy Day Camp is dragged to the dungeon, you turn and see that the other nobles are bowing and scraping before you. That's better. Well, congratulations. Welcome to your first 5 minutes in the stream. Get the fuck in the dungeon. See, grandees, this is how the king rewards your loyalty. Well, to be fair, they kind of said I was too stupid to rule right to my face. Let's not forget that. Deep in the back rooms of the royal palace, the southern grandees are poring over secret letters and scribbled diagrams. On the wall is a corkboard filled with pins and crisscrossed by colored strings. The king didn't marry Bologna, but at least he married somebody. Now he just needs to get on with finding an heir. Indeed, the clock is ticking. Peasants all across the kingdom are losing faith in the ninth. It's the work of those heathen chiefs. They're undermining the church. Guys, who wants to tell them? Then we've got to keep up our efforts. King Ernesto isn't going anywhere on our watch. So remember, help me with my ambition. Don't rebel. Don't rebel. Rebel bad. So today we got our cathedral, which is going to raise faith, which... the fortress, which might help rescue the chief's military. The aqueduct, which will help bring farming to the counts. The theater, which will undermine my authority. Again. The monument, which will raise my authority. And the prison, which will undermine stability. I'm just going to personally say, F is bad. F is very, very bad. Don't do it. Alright, starting at 3, 2, 1, go! Right, first off, we got a fortress being funded for no less than 1,350 added to the monument. We've got 100 added to the theater. 30 seconds remaining. Got another 1,000 being added to the fortress. I can see that the chiefs really would like their military to be, not garbage. God, it's weird seeing so many messages at the same time, I will admit. We got less than 10 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Got a last minute from Deku Drakneil at 4:55 for E. So we got our fortress, which will increase our military for the chiefs, and the monument, which will increase authority, which I love. I love this monument. I want to give a personal thanks to Strat Daddy Daycamp, whose parent I threw into the dungeon minutes after they arrived. A true champ. I would like to see if Defiance goes up for the Chiefs at all before going to the air, so... another count episode? We have another count episode going on here? Counts seem to be getting a lot of episodes, I've noticed. The priests bring ever more concerning reports of a wild cult at large in the east. These fanatics call themselves the 8th chapter, and they claim to have found an arm of a dead guard. I said God. I said God, not guard. That would be fucking weird. For them to bring attention to a dead guard? Nonsense. Or blasphemy. Possibly both. Church attendance is already down, and with it tithes. We can hardly manage without the tithes. This heresy cannot stand. The council must do something to stop it. The grandees might steal it. So, we can summon the High Inquisitor to break it up. Discreetly dispatch a spy to get more information. Or wait and see, since these things usually die by themselves. Another proof of our ruler being part of the necrophilia cult. I am not part of this necrophilia cult for the last fucking time. Guys, who was the person who said no to the fish fucking? Who is the person who said no to that? And you're accusing me of unfucking believable. Well, I don't like A. A, bad. 0 chiefs? It seems like we have chiefs. Or 0 chiefs on C. Discreetly dispatch a spy to find out more. No, it's an emoji. Gotcha. I guess the dashboard for the thing doesn't help much. You dispatch the spy and hope to hear back soon. The nature of subterfuge demands that those in charge remain in the dark. Meanwhile, chaos. Your Majesty, a monster's been stalking my farms at night, smashing down the doors of cottages and feasting on the insides of the peasantry. How many victims? Dozens, Your Grace, and only a few have survived the attacks. The survivors tell a garbled story about gleaming fangs amid a mountain of blood-soaked fur. So we can send the Count's army to deal with the abomination, which would be funny. We could offer a bounty on the monster, which will lower defiance. Or, this is no concern of ours. I'm just gonna... I feel like I don't have to do this, because I know that all of you, my loyal subjects, are very, very, very intelligent. But we're just gonna... I just feel like putting a bribe down. I just feel like bribing everybody. Just as a bonus for being the smart people you are. Everybody has voted... Genuinely speaking, once we got up to like 7 people, I'm surprised that anybody voted for anything other than B. So we'll put a nice bounty down. The bounty is placed. Hopefully some enterprising monster slayer will come to claim it soon. This is going to cost me a lot of money, I'm sure. Now about that heir. Your marriage to Freda has grown stale. Oh, you get along well enough and you've made some good memories. But there's just no spark. I didn't even have a chance to make things better. She cares more about her stupid books than your happiness. But spark or no spark, you still need an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. Something's still missing, though. You need an heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they are a bastard. Maybe the youngest of your many cousins. How likely is a child going to happen? We can certainly attempt it. Maybe something will pop up while we do things. In the meantime, back at Chief Hadron 574's clan hall, a troop of warriors are gathering for the journey north. But their numbers leave something to be desired. You call this an army? This is barely enough warriors to raid a chicken coop! How are we supposed to brave the ice giants with these greenhorns? We're working on it. It'll take time for our warriors to join us. But we put the call out over a year ago! By the Star Flare, get us more warriors, will you? I don't care how! Everybody's sitting in chairs when they talk. The chief's aim is to raise their military to at least 5. You can do it. I believe in you. In the darkest depths of an Eastern Front, Countess Teeny Burt II has gathered their fellow plotters around a mossy stone obelisk. Some of our bribes have been accepted, but not enough. The king is paying the palace watch well enough that their loyalties aren't that easily swayed. So we have some in the watch. So we have some of the watch in our pocket? Isn't that enough? No, not yet. We can't make a move until we're sure we won't be discovered. The Count's aim is to lower the treasury to 1,500 or less. Did I say that they had a free game? I feel like I did. Just going to, Chiefs, I assure you, it's all to give a middle finger to the Counts. I assure you. A noble kidnap? You should have stayed with us, with the Jounts. Yeah, I'm gonna not with these vile grandees. I mean, the grandees kind of put me in power in the first place. Counts, let's team up even more. No, stop that! Don't make me get the spray bottle. So who do you think is kidnapped? Who wants to place their guesses? Vote now on your phones. Chief Mr. Timewank, lovely name, strides into the council chambers, distraught, waving a dead rat by its tail. Rat mace? The fields and barns of the north are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison for these horrible things. We can't cope anymore. I hate that the word cope is a meme word now. Take the rat and go. The north can handle this alone. Farming check. Deliver a supply of rat poison. Stability check. Send them a shipment of cats. Just gonna take away money. Or hire some adventurers to clear out the rodents. Just gonna say no to that one. I need that money for reasons. The Counts are voting for C. This is such a surprising development. Feel like it was one-sided enough that it was probably fine. Chief Mr. Timewank bows to you deeply. I can't thank you enough, Your Highness. Remember the loyal ones who were here when you were alone and playing pinball. Yes, that was a very rough time. You send a caravan of cats over to the north. By the time they reach their destination, they're very hungry and very angry. Soon the rats are gone. A following springs up around one particularly successful mouser whose nickname is the Colonel, and a bronze statue is put up in his honor. I can read, I promise! He greatly enjoys sunning himself beside the statue, and the townspeople bring him dried fish for luck. You know what that means! We are never escaping the fish. Whether or not the gifts affect the town's fortune remains to be seen, but he is a very happy cat indeed. Alright, so, who has been kidnapped? No, I just realized it's a chief episode. Your Highness, the loyal and noble Chief Alexa Aranel has been taken hostage. What kidnappers want with her? Some criminal organization. These horrid miscreants demand gold and safe passage to Ashmead in exchange for Alexa's return. Am I gonna have to unplug that? I'm worried about that. Just because of the name, I might have to unplug a very certain... Oh, dear. Okay. Bribery? I like bribes. Who doesn't like bribes? You can call me Sarah if you prefer. That's nice, but I'm definitely going to forget that. Just take the bribe. It's free money. We must look after our own. Yeah, I can't really blame you for doing that. So that's 7. There's no way to overpower that vote then. The outlaws put up a hard fight, and the Norse forces suffered. And the Norse forces suffer heavy losses in the assault. Oh my god. The game's just bullying them at this point. But in the end, Alexa Reno is retrieved, safe as could be hoped for. Defiance. Shut up! Shut up, Alexa! Defiance can't go lower. During the raid, Northern fighters recover a hoard of gold and gems, some of which go to the treasury and some to the chiefs. Even more money for you guys! He even insults Alexa Arenal. No, not that one. The other one. The other one that is in the bedroom, which can hear me from out here! Yeah, right. During my Book of Mario thing, that went off. I had a damn internet failure, so I decided to record for the Book of Mario thing, and that went off, and I kept calling to it to shut up, and it didn't respond, and then I realized after like the 10th attempt, oh right, no internet, I have to unplug the damn thing. Do we believe him, fellow nobles? Nobles. No, instead we kill him. Consider not doing that. Your Majesty, Chief Mr. Timewank has been having prophetic dreams. The guy who's, literally named after that I must not mention is, having prophetic dreams, you say? It is true. I can part the veil betwixt now and some ways off. Give me a prophecy, then. I look to the future, and it speaks through me. No more, no less. For one thing, Grandee Strat Daddy Daycamp II should beware of onion soup. And the color purple will bring bad fortune to Count Arngrim. But that's like their favorite color. But that... Last time I had clairvoyance was when I was a war criminal, right? Indeed, it is their favorite color. Please, your highness, have him foretell the future for the council. We should gain insight into great mysteries. Alright, just this once. Throw them in the dungeon, or make them an official council advisor. Well, we got the 50% chance. Throwing them in the dungeon is probably not going to go well. And, you know what? I'm going to be honest. It would be fucking hilarious if I had an official council advisor named Mr. Timewank. I think everybody knows what to do. I'm part of the council. Fuck yeah. Congratulations on your promotion, Chief. Bet the church is gonna love this guy. Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt about it. Wonderful news, your greatness. I'm certain he will not disappoint. Sure enough, Chief Mr. Timewank has a canny sense of what's best for the North. The other nobles, however, start to mutter this seeing the unseen is no more than a disguise for giving out special treatment. Grandees? You want to shut the fuck up? You want to not tell blatant lies? Can the king really be trusted with this charlatan constantly whispering in his ear? So we've got the Iron Choice, which will raise authority. I kind of needed right now. Stop the count, which is dumb. And anonymous voting. Better get that military up to fight the grandees. No kidding. I think we've had enough. I haven't used reverse voting once yet. I feel like I'm gonna want to get rid of that for the Iron Choice for now. What's that? Another Count episode? Oh, say it ain't so! Might as well just... Oh, that's how the zoom in works. Might as well just keep that here for now. It's the Count show. 1 issue. 2 issues. 3 issues. Monster Slayer first? Why not? A monster slayer named Vogun asks permission to appear before the council. Wow, that was a weird noise I just made. The bounty on the monster in the east has been collected. He steps forward, a gaunt figure in the hooded cloak. With a sneer, he tosses something at your feet. A blood-soaked head tumbling across your nice clean floor. Somebody get a mop! Your monster, my liege. That's no monster. That's Count Arngrim's head. Murderer! Murderer! Care to explain yourself? Count Arngrim was the monster who has been terrorizing the East these last few months. Last week I hunted the beast down, found it feasting on the remnants of some unlucky peasant. Damn creature lopped away before I could kill it, so I followed at a distance. The beast made its way back to a grand keep. Before my very eyes, I witnessed this bloodthirsty beast transform back into Count Arngrim. See, you should have started wearing red. Do you know what manner of creature this was? Some kind of skin shedder, no doubt. A nightmare beast that lived within Count Arngrim's skin and came out at night. He had no memory of his crimes, I am sure, but the only cure was the axe. Monster or not, your highness, Count Arngrim was a noble. We can't stand for a noble to be slain by some common blood mercenary. Arrest this man! Count Arngrim has died. Oh, let's lower authority. It'll be funny. I said he would have misfortune, and I called that he was the dead one. Yeah, that, like I said, you should have worn red instead. Or really, anything that isn't purple. Yeah, I kind of need that authority, though. On the other hand, I have a little bit of money to give out for now. Vogan strides from your council hall, whistling and dragging behind him a sack of clinking gold. Clinking gold? What is that? What kind of message does that send? That you can kill a count and the council will pay you for it? Outrageous. Toss a coin to your witcher. Fire! Yeah, fire. Your Grace, there's been a terrible fire in the city of Svetas. Where once there were buildings, there's now a field of smoldering ash. Dozens of peasants have died. What caused the fire? Cow kicked over a lantern, your highness. Some milkmaid was burning the midnight oil and must have had unexpectedly cold hands. The milkmaid? You say? That poor cow. The first victim. I was hoping the council could unlock some funds from the treasury so we could rebuild. Rebuild the city exactly as it was. Well, offering no help is pretty bad, honestly. Rebuilding the city is going to effectively just hand the counts a victory for their scheme. And yeah, if I veto one bad thing, the other one might get picked. So here's what I'm going to do. We're gonna go for bribe once again. You like money, right? Oh no, my poor anime waifu. Excuse me? Yeah, at 6, it's, kinda done. Well, This could be bad. This could be very bad. You send word to the Counts of Svetos that they will be expected to rebuild their city without any help. Blood and stars, what's the point of having a king in the first place? Yeah, I feel like that's what's going on with that one. They're just very upset. The spy returns at last, creeping into the council hall. A way to increase stability, maybe. Good day to you, your majesty. I have learned much. A warlock named Etrevian de Operi is drawing power from a hulking artifact buried deep in the very soil of the East. Etrevian is preaching that the time of the church is at an end, and that this limb of the eighth god will bring freedom and prosperity. I'm just very slowly stroking my beard while I'm reading that out loud. I don't know why. So we can spend an assassin, we can send a spy to reach out, or we can have the spy lead the soldiers into the cult's den, which is probably somehow less likely to succeed than just sending the spy alone. You should help me increase my authority. I feel. Authority is pretty nice. Well, that's not happening. Authority is not nice. I mean, authority isn't going to help me out right now, but unease settles as your agent departs. 25% failed? But how? After several weeks, your spy master nervously reports that the charred body of your spy has been dumped on the palace steps. Of the troops who accompanied him, there is no sign. Well, guess the East is fucked! No chance to bribe today. That's a shame. Consider not doing that. I once again had no chance to have a happy spouse. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed down to... Gonna go for the random number generator route again. My daughter. The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of the kingdom. Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your daughter. What is her name? Ernesto II. Praise the ninth, your highness. I'm sure little Ernesto will grow up to be a chip off the old block. Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition. Oh yes, the stability is looking very, very nice. Definitely not making me sad. That was the first one I did, right? Here it is. The warlock is, being a dick again. A strange letter has arrived, your majesty. I think it must be from Etrevian de Operi. You reach out your hand to take the letter, and it bursts into flames. Your spy master throws the burning missive to the ground, and in the next moment, it morphs into a screeching spirit made of living fire. Witchcraft! Witchcraft! Calm. We must stay calm. A voice like iron, dragged over hot coals, proclaims, I hear your wish to kill my master. I know you tried, you pig. Meet with my master at his temple beneath the gods' good ground, or he will drown the East in blood. The burning spirit takes flight and begins to circle the council chamber. We will have no parley with this madman. Tell this abomination to be gone! I have a notion, Your Majesty. A parley would present the perfect opportunity to ambush the 8th chapter's inner circle. You know, honestly, if the counts are going to talk about rebelling, I think I'd be okay with them drowning in blood. I think that might be funny to watch. Agree to an honest meeting with Etrivion, which will raise stability. Use the meeting as an ambush, which will increase authority. Or refuse the meeting entirely and take up arms, which will raise authority, military, and lower defiance. Admittingly, the military is not the worst for the counts. That goes to the battle-ready chiefs. Somehow. You know what would you know what would stop the counts from rebelling, guys? We need B. No, I think A is really great, honestly. We can all be friends till the end. Don't know why I referenced Chucky. Why? Why would I do that? I feel like you guys don't know what a bribe is. So it's neck and neck at this point. I'm gonna keep it going just for a little bit. Why didn't my vote go through? All I can suggest is to try again. Someone understands a bribe. What, you got more authority, brah? Yeah, authority is cool. It's not gonna help me right now, though. So we have 2 people who haven't voted yet. I'm gonna give it 15 seconds, and then after that 15 seconds, I'm gonna cast the vote. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I can't vote for what I want. But I can vote for the next best thing. And honestly, I think that's lowering you below to stability level. Because don't think I don't see that fucking rebellion bullshit you guys are trying to pull. The burning spirit shrieks and then dives at the floor. It vanishes in a shower of sparks. Your spy master approaches the scorch marks and looks troubled. It's an image of you, Your Majesty. Hung from a tree. Let us pray. Yeah, I think praying is going to do a lot of help right now. The Archbishop comes to the middle of the chamber and kneels against the black marks made by the vanished spirit. War is at hand, and you must lead this kingdom to prosperity or ruin on the field. It's Joe. Our stats are not going to be doing a laughing stock. Guys, why do I have a bad feeling about this one? Your Majesty, the acclaimed playwright Percival Crawford has written another smash hit. All the theaters in the capital are showing it nightly. Oh, wonderful. I love his work. So do I. So does everyone. But the problem is that the new play features a character that's pretty obviously based on you. I'm more curious to see what happens if we counts lose the fight. Please rebel. Please no. Can't rebel. Defiance matches stability. Can't rebel, motherfucker. An admiring homage? How delightful. You misunderstand me, Your Highness. The character is played by a professional clown named Biffle. At one point, a bucket of custard is upended over his head as he sits on the throne. Your Highness, peasants and nobles alike are watching this. The theaters are packed. You have to put a stop to this. You can't be known as King Biffle. I think I'll attend the play myself. A shocked silence falls in the theater as heralds announce your arrival. You wave from the royal box as the actors stare at you, clearly horrified. What are you waiting for? The play begins. Sure enough, the Clown King arrives on stage, comedically tripping on his own robes. They somehow found an actor who looks just like you. Endless humiliations are heaped on his honking, squeaking parody. Finally, the play concludes with the custard-drenched king handing his crown to the deserving hero. All eyes turn to you. How do you react? What other way is there to react? We're gonna go onto the stage. The actors shrink away from you. The audience are deadly silent. Everyone's terrified of what you're about to do next. I'm seeing execute, death, blood for the blood. This is all from one person. Stop being the crowd. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna congratulate them on their play. And you wanna know why? You wanna you wanna know why? Because I'd like everybody to know I can take a joke. I can take a parody. I'm not Dark Side Phil. Somebody points at me and laughs at a mistake I do, I'll point at myself and laugh with them. Lord knows I've done it 100 times already. The audience breaks out into relieved cheers. The actors bow before you, weeping from gratitude. After that, the whole capital can talk about nothing but your good humor and mercy. Stability is even higher. Which brings me to think. Are you trying to keep my stability low by being a crowd somehow? It's not very nice. It's not very nice. Banned. I'm surprised. I thought for sure stability would go down on that one. Turns out that when the peasantry sees that the king can take a joke, they don't feel so bad about making fun of him. So today, we've got the chiefs in their never-ending attempt to rebuild their military. We've got a monument, which will increase authority. But a deer park, which will decrease farming, which doesn't matter. None of it matters. Got a theater, which will decrease authority, which is not the best, but what can you do? Got an aqueduct, which can increase farming, which doesn't matter. And the Thieves Guild, which will lower trade. None of this really matters. Authority is like the only thing. Well, yeah, and military. Right, and military. Right, I forget about the military. It's kind of funny that the only people who are undeniably loyal to me don't have a military. Alright, so let's get to it. We got 950 given to the fortress. We got another 850 also building up the fortress. We have 1 going to the theater. 100 for the Thieves Guild. 1,800 for something. You gotta put in a letter there. We got 10 seconds left. 5, 200 for D. 3, 2, 1, and last minute towards the monument. Last second, last minute. The whole thing's a minute! Last second for the monument. Blessed are the grandees. We have information on the ambition. Unfortunately, I'm still not sure about the stability. The Battle of the Arm. Or a horrible hunting. Haunting? That's haunting. Letters are very small for me. During a meeting with the Council of Nobles, a commotion erupts as Chief Alexa Aranel, damn that name, lets out a piercing scream. By old hell's horn! Gods be good, it's here! It's here! She faints away, falling to the ground with a crash. Oh, she'll be fine. By the ninth god, someone fetch some water! A servant runs for water and holds it to Alexa Aranel's mouth. I thought I'd be safe from it here, but when we built that monument on my land, some manner of specter was disturbed, and it's made me its target. It is short for Alexandria, my middle name. That makes sense, yeah. Guys, we may have fucked up by increasing my authority. I think the grandees unintentionally fucked something up. What's it doing exactly? Are we really entertaining this nonsense? I hear voices, Your Highness. Little pinpricks at the back of my mind. Just now I saw a horrid gray sheep hanging over me. Its face a rotting mask. What else is new? We're too old for campfire tales, Alexa Aranel. I beg you, Your Greatness and gathered nobles, come to my aid. We must banish this wraith. So, we have the funny option. We can research the land that the monument is built, which is probably the better option. Or we can ignore the situation. All will be fine. I mean, at this point, I feel like raising defiance is kind of pointless. Because even if authority and stability goes down enough, or defiance goes up enough for them to try to rebel, honestly, what are they gonna do? I kind of just feel bad for them at this point. We do A. Consider not doing A. Neck and neck! It's neck and neck. I'll give it 15 seconds just because it's this close. Alright, well that's 15 seconds. So, an increase in authority is always very nice. Super appreciate it. You summon the chief architect, who nods thoughtfully when you explain the situation. Oh, this sort of thing's an occupational hazard when building on historical sites. Keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? Sir, we have some sort of wraith fucking with people here. Can you please take this seriously? This monument wasn't built on a graveyard or something, was it? Well, I hope not. He hopes not. He hurries off to Quayo University to delve through the records. You can only hope Alexa Aranel's troubles do not get worse in the meantime. My stability didn't go up at all from that. That's an issue. You take up your place atop the steed and join your marshal on the March of the East. Besides you, the High Inquisitor leads a regiment from the Church's holy orders. I don't need to march with the Church. Proud to be standing with you against the heretics, Your Majesty. Soon you are in sight of the Warlock's Wood. A horde of cultists has swarmed the surrounding vineyards. The ground shakes and the earth bursts asunder. An enormous metallic arm emerges, scuttling on mechanical centipede-like legs. Echevian de Opry is astride the monstrosity, his staff held above his head. The closed fist of the giant arm begins to open. Your Majesty, we must strike it before it's too late! Have faith! Wait for him to meet us! Why does it even give me these options at this point? We're gonna try to fill the sky with arrows. The sky is filled with arrows, but it's not enough. It lost the coin flip. The 8th chapter surged forward like one furious behemoth. Your footmen struggled to keep the cultists at bay. You watch in horror as the great iron hand fully opens. A column of red fire pours out in long, hateful tongues. A swath of your troops further up the hill vanish into ash. Your marshal sounds the retreat, and your forces flee, pursued by the deadly light of the arm of God. The day is lost. You must slink back to the capital to see what remains. Well, at least my authority didn't technically go down for the event, I guess. Can we bribe the counts? Bribe us, sure. Spend some of that money. Spend some of that treasury, big boy. Why did you make that sound dirty? So, how's the ambition? At the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be a peacekeeper. You succeeded on that front. 6 is fine. I remember watching Jabroni Mike, and he had like 8 across the board in trade, and it still wasn't enough. Or maybe it was 7. It was pretty high. So it's kind of surprising that 6 is fine. You've succeeded on that front. The kingdom is peaceful, and you're renowned for your mercy and wisdom. Well done, your majesty. The kingdom is peaceful. We just lost how many people to fucking fire pillars of death from a giant arm, but we're doing real peacefully. But to shut down your noble scheming for good, we need to build on your reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. The common folk are a sleeping giant that even the nobles are afraid to wake. If you're beloved by your peasants, the nobles wouldn't dare overthrow you out of fear of revolution. My advice, on the other hand, is to infiltrate each region with loyal spies, defeat their schemes with our own. But the Chancellor has other ideas. So, stability and trade or stability and farming? Farming. Build on the efforts that we did with the last generation. I like that idea. A wise decision, your majesty. I'll begin recruiting town criers to shout about your achievements to the masses. But first you need some actual achievements. Your priority is to raise stability and overall farming as much as you can. And of course there can be no open rebellion among the nobles. We're walking a very thin line right now. I hate to bully the chiefs when the game's already doing a good job of that. But I do need a bit of money for the bribes. Maybe not the counts. Yeah, I'm not going to cruel tax the counts. I'm not suicidal. Again. Why cruel us again? Listen. Guys. Everybody else, just mute for a second, right? I have some very important business for the chiefs. Okay, I think they definitely listened. Right. So here's the thing. I'm sure you guys don't need the counts to win. You don't want the counts to win, right? That would be pretty bad for us. You see, as long as you keep you keep up and you help with the farming, when everything is great, I'm going to make life for everyone great, but especially you guys. Okay? Okay. Somebody tell the other guys that they can turn their volume back on. I think we're good now. Crew tax the counts. No. 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 Yeah. Iron Grim is realizing what I'm trying to do. That defiance is way too high right now. I just want to make them happy. Well, we'll get to the ambition later, because that there's the possibility that might end the game, and I'd like to see more. Your Majesty, I discovered something interesting about the land on which Chief Alexa Arenol's haunted monument was built. What did you find? This ghost is actually Alexa Arenal's great-great-uncle Eleanor. He's not haunting the building. He's haunting her. My great-great-uncle is angry with me? I don't even know him. Well, I can call upon Quail University for more information. Acts of my ancestors. I don't need information. I just want this ghost gone. Well, that's not gonna happen, my friend. We could lower faith even more, assuming that it is going to affect the grandees and not the chiefs, which is probably what's going to happen. If the chiefs are going to be poor, then so must the crown. Guys, we just need to give the counts a little bit of money so that they will have what they need to make sure that they can they can take care of their problems. I mean, they're in the middle of the war. Go fuck this for me. Do not fuck me for this. Do not fuck me right now. I'm gonna say that I would really like to find out what this ghost wants anyways. I love the guy voting for A, knowing 100% it's going to fail. The chief logic will never escape. I will never understand what the chiefs do sometimes. Sometimes. That's a very weird way of... Okay, so we've got 7 out of 11 votes. I'm gonna leave it going for 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's find out what this ghost wants exactly. Possibly lower faith. Definitely raise authority. You want to talk to this ghost. What if it's a demonic spirit sent from the 7 hills to corrupt mortal minds? But the will of the council is absolute. Alexa Arenal... I'm not speaking for anybody. Alexa Arenal hurries away to do as you say. Hopefully, great-great-uncle Einar will be as talkative as he is irascible. It's kind of weird hoping that the ambition doesn't succeed quite yet, just so I can see where that goes. We're at the edge of doom, Your Majesty. Stoneclaw Keep is under siege, and our armies can't hold out against the 8th chapter for much longer. Wow, that is an expensive wizard. It's fun when the story draws you in. Oh yeah, it really is. The C option is good odds. 40% is definitely not the worst I've seen. For just uninfluenced chances. Admittingly, I would really like stability. That's unfortunately going to upset the counts a little bit more. Might need some more bribery. If it comes to that. I'm going to do this bribery right now, though. I seem to be the last count standing. That is certainly possible. Speaking of standing, this will not stand. It cannot stand. You would carve up our lands for heretics. Enough. The matter is settled. I will write to De Opry and offer him terms for a peace. In a few days, you received a signed treaty from Etrevien De Opry. Woo! Defiance! Guys, you know what to do? The 8th chapter will withdraw from the cities of the East. They will settle on a patch of land to practice their heresies in peace. The church hates this. The counts detest this. But your kingdom hasn't fallen to pieces. Uneasy is the head that wears the crown. Well, at least that entire thing is done. It'll be nice knowing that some random magic person doesn't want me dead. And hey, the East didn't have to drown in blood. Everybody wins. Your Majesty, the common folk are swayed as easily as a dandelion in a gale. I'm confident that we can make them adore you. This will be the biggest public relations campaign the kingdom has ever seen. You'll tour the kingdom giving speeches, town criers will declaim your great deeds from every corner. That was not one full sentence. I thought that was a comma, not a period. Can we do things to actually, I don't know, help people? The nobles would never accept that. First, you need to secure your hold on power. Then, you can pass whatever reforms you like. A few days later, the Chancellor is helping you prepare for your first big speech. This is the fifth one. This is the fifth one this week. This is the first big speech. I know. You didn't think becoming beloved public figure was easy. You're hustled out onto your palace balcony, below which a sea of expectant and unwashed faces gaze up at you. Unwashed? You guys can't even provide them decent bath? Jeez. As you step out into view, they erupt in cheers. Hats are thrown into the air. Someone faints with joy. Everywhere you've gone, you've met the same reception. The public like you. They really like you. But you need to turn that into love. As you launch into your speech, the peasants hang onto your every word. The crowd grows and grows. When you wrap up, the peasants' cheering is so loud you're nearly knocked over. Oh, well done, Your Majesty. That went brilliantly. I did it, Chancellor. I'm the greatest. You did. Now let's take this show on the road. Over the next few weeks, you travel all over the kingdom, delivering that same speech to packed venues. Everywhere you go, you're greeted by cheers and applause. The King of Simps. Things are going wonderfully. The common folk of the South even want to throw you a surprise banquet to celebrate your achievements. Well, if it's a surprise party, why are you telling me? Well, if I've learned anything as Chancellor, it's that surprises should be avoided. This is a sign that you're a true king of the people. Your Majesty, this no longer has anything to do with the nobles. It's about the ordinary folk, the salt of the earth. So when is this banquet? I trust we'll hear from the South soon. After a few weeks, the Chancellor sidles into your office, looking very pleased with themselves. Your Majesty, the townsfolk of the South are ready for you to visit. Luck bastard. Yeah, I was expecting a failure for that one. What do the grandees think of this? They only just found out about it. What are they going to do? Disinvite the king? You make your preparations to leave. Although it's meant to be a surprise, you may as well bring some essential luxuries. Your wife Freda steps up into the carriage and settles beside you, giving you a kiss on the cheek. This is the first time she has come up since the marriage. I wondered why you were bothering with all those peasants. I never cared what they thought. But now I see the advantages of paying more attention. This is very nice, don't you think? These foolish peasants are wrapped around my... Very nice indeed. I'm so glad you agree, Your Majesty. Little Ernesto II makes the Chancellor play increasingly undignified make-believe games on the journey. The good old make-believe games. You finally arrive in the southern capital. Everywhere, the people line the streets and hang out of the windows, cheering your procession. Grandee Strat Daddy Day Camp II stalks up to you and bows. His smile is noticeably rigid. Greetings, Your Holiness. How good to see you. Surprise! By the ninth god, I had no idea this was happening. Sarcasm. The southern peasants have decided they support the crown so much that they've put on a party in your honor. They love me that much. It was a surprise for all of us. Don't know why you guys are so upset. You're supposed to be helping me with this. Voice of praise follow you as you travel to the banquet hall. Townsfolk throw flower petals in your path. Grandee Strat Dad I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time that I've mispronounced that name. Strat Daddy Day Camp the Second's face is like thunder. When you enter the banquet hall, the national anthem strikes up and even more cheering rises. The hall is filled with southern townsfolk, but there are also common folk from across the kingdom. Northern warriors bellow their support. The Chancellor looks stunned. I had no idea everyone got this together. Let me bask in this for a second. Yes. Feels good. You let the cheering wash over you for a moment, savoring all this support. The people roar in approval. Definitely said that one wrong. You spend a week in the south feasting and drinking and breaking bread with the commoners. But you can't be on holiday forever. Unfortunately, you eventually return to the capital where the council is in session. The nobles are arguing again. What northern warriors? What northern warriors? By the blood of the dead, we must have coin from the treasury. I found an ancient law stating that the East is entitled to funds for Eastern sporting events. No, we need gold for our businesses. The peasants aren't working hard enough and we're losing momentum. You think back to the gathered peasants, the tradespeople, and the merchants, all cheering for you. So many of them cheering for you. Time for a change. I'm bringing the peasants into the council. What? Bringing peasants to the council? You lock eyes with him, and you can tell he's thinking back to the banquet in his town. Yes, Your Majesty. Of course. Even over a single day, it becomes clear that the nobles are running scared. You have so much support from the ordinary people across the kingdom that the nobles have realized just how outnumbered they truly are. Merchants and peasants rub shoulders with aristocrats in council sessions, bringing fresh perspective and the concerns of ordinary people to the throne for the first time. I just remembered. I brought up Jabroni Mike, I think, more than once now. Once today. But I remembered one of the peasants' ideas. It's like, so the horses aren't running fast enough, right? What if, and just hear me out on this, what if we cut off the back legs and reattach wheels to them? And it's like the entire event is just an excuse to gimp one of the other factions. It is so... Yeah, that's why we don't have peasants in here. It doesn't seem to be working. What if we kept trying? It's like, alright, get the hell out of here, you idiot. The kingdom grows truly harmonious. Even your crown feels lighter on your head when you put it on each morning. See the great things I'm bringing to you guys. It is a good thing to support me. Treasury is also filled with too much money. Sad that I won't get to use it. Your reign stretches out in front of you, full of hope and ready for a bright future. The grandees celebrated their victory. Didn't look like it to me! And Ernesto was venerated as a true hero of the South. But some whispered that the grandees were now losing control of their puppet as the king consolidated his power around his heir, Princess Ernesto II. The chiefs abandoned their hopes for Oddhell's Horn, which passed into legend once more. A treasure fit only for seducing adventurers into the frozen wastes, where ice giants or hypothermia await them. The Count's attempt to worm their way into the palace was uncovered, and a number of arrests were made. Countess Teenybert ended her life chained upside down to a dungeon wall. It's nice to be loved, especially when you're loved by an entire kingdom. King Ernesto rode a surge of public adoration for another 15 years of carousing, feasting, and popular reform, which were promptly undone after his passing. The peasants thought it was nice while it lasted, though. Oh shit, am I Teeny Bert the Third now? Congratulations on your second death. Well, I suppose the second one isn't technically a death at this point. You'll be able to use the money when you continue the dynasty. That is fair. Yeah, that's true. So the game lasted for nearly 3 years. Very nice. Alexa just ended on nothing there. You know, that's partly because I just took money from them like twice.